It's all fun and games till someone gets shot.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's that time of year again. We're going to be discussing stats, popularity, statistics. There's a person in the Tekken community. Their name is Obla. Every year and a half, they gather data, statistics from characters, win rates, ranks, so much statistics and stats and information that the devs will not give us. This person, I don't know how they do it, but they find it. They find all the data and they put it on a graph for us to talk about each and every year. And they just did it again. We have the post season 4 PC ranked leaderboard statistics, the definitive original Polish edition. So basically what that means is the person did one at the beginning of season 4. This one is at the end of season 4, and you have the definitive edition in there, you have the original edition, and you have Lita in there. Lita was left out of the other one because she wasn't released yet, but this one will include her, and we will just be breaking all this stuff down. I think I'm going to do about 2 or 3 videos to fully break down everything, because there's a lot in here, and there's a lot to really dig through. And once again, before we get into it, I want to say thank you to Obla for taking the time and doing this, because it has to be a lot of work for this person to put all this together. So I have the screenshot. We're going to be talking about popularity for this video. Which characters are the most popular? And if you look at the top 3, you will notice that Paul, Kazuya, and Brian dominated. Like, they've been top 3 forever. And these 3 will definitely be in Tekken 8. And one thing about Kazuya, people say, can Tekken really survive without Heihachi? I think that Kazuya is at a point now where he is in a position to be the main guy, to be the main bad guy. He's second most popular character in the game. I don't think there's another character on the roster who the community loves more than Kazuya. But number 4, you have Armor King. Now, Armor King was 4, he went 6, and then went back to 4. Now, I think this is because of the buffs and nerfs that he got. At the beginning of season 4, he wasn't really too good. JDCR was talking negatively about the character. The whole Armor King mains as a whole was in a bad position. But then the nerfs came out, and that pushed him back up to 4th most popular character in the game. And I remember when Armor King got buffed, there was non-stop Armor Kings online, and I was kind of sick of playing Armor King because every match was Armor King. That's how popular the character is. And if you talk about Tekken 8, whether or not he can knock King off the roster in popularity, that wouldn't be an issue if he did. But also, King is a very beloved character, and that is where the problems arise, or that's where the controversy arise. I say just have them both. Both of these characters are popular enough to be in there on their own. I think both of them can be there. But after that, Fakaram and Leroy, of course, the DLC. When you have DLCs this powerful, this pay to win, they will remain popular. Fakaram is one of the most nerfed characters in the game, yet he is still used in tournaments. The only reason he's not being used anymore that much is because now everyone is using Lita. Lita is the new pay to win character, and it's funny. When Lita first came out, where is Lita actually? So Lita is 26th on the leaderboard for popularity. And when she first came out, I was saying how she was broken. I was saying she was another busted pay to win DLC character, and everyone was saying I was wrong. Everyone was saying, no, this isn't the same thing as Leroy and Fakaram. But what's happening now? Lita is dominating every single tournament. She is literally the exact same thing as Leroy and Fakaram.
And Chikarin is definitely a tier enthusiast. So that's how you know Lydia is good. If Chikurin is playing Lydia, that's like, alright, well, that must mean Lydia a hoe.
But what's interesting about this, Dragunov 6, 7, then 8th, Devil Chin 9, 8, then 7th. So you have a little bit of a switch there. Jin 7, 9, 9, so he's kind of holding his position. Harang, very solid, 11, 11, 10. And then here's King, 10, 10, 11. So just outside of the top 10 most popular characters in ranked in season 4. But King is still very popular, and I think he still should be on the roster in Tekken 8 as well. Now, Heihachi, 12, 13, 12. We have the same dip here. Heihachi was buffed the same time that Armor King was buffed, so that could have been why the 13 went back up to 12. But I'm not against Heihachi being on the base roster in Tekken 8. I think it would be fine if he was, but I just don't want him to take over the story. That's my only thing. But the popularity is there, right? Here's the thing you guys gotta understand. The top 20 characters. It goes Negan, that's crazy. Negan is there. Claudio, Law, Steve, Lars, Kazumi, Fang, Josie. Holding this top 20 position is not easy. You see how many characters is under that? 30 something characters is under top 20. So being up in the top 20, that really means that people love this character. You know, excusing all of the internet hate, excusing all of the tweets, excusing all of the whatever. For your character to be in the top 20, that means a lot of people play this character. And if you remove them from Tekken 7, it would look really different. So now I want to put a little bit more attention on the bottom half of the roster. The bottom half of the popularity, this has been making waves as of late. We know Arslan Ash has just started playing Lucky Chloe. Lucky Chloe was 31, she was 37th, and now she's 38. Now, considering that Arslan Ash just started playing Lucky Chloe literally 4 days ago, 5 days ago, I wonder what is that going to do with her popularity? Because Arslan Ash is a brilliant player, and he has a lot of influence. We see what he did with Akuma, with Eliza, with Zafina. A lot of characters that people wrote off, he simply by him playing them or simply by him saying something that completely changed the way the whole community looked at that character. And I'm not saying that's going to be the case for Lucky Chloe, but I seen some of the gameplay and he is definitely discovering new setups, new tactics. If you're a Lucky Chloe player, I think you should probably go watch Arslan Ash because he's doing things right now with Lucky Chloe that I never seen any Lucky Chloe player do ever. And that just goes to show how much potential is in this bottom half of the roster. This bottom half of the roster really was just forgotten about. And if the community put a little bit of attention in them, we could probably find a little bit more there. Now, with that being said, you have Eliza, which is the second least popular character in the game. I want to give a prop to Ganryu for not being in last place. But to be fair, he started off 49th and he is still 49th. So he hasn't really moved. It's just the simple fact that Eliza has moved down. Quite a lot, actually. She moved down 4 places. That's a lot. And like I said, I think Eliza will show up as DLC for Tekken 8. I think she will show up as DLC and everyone will lose their minds. But okay, so now what I want to do is I want to put a little bit of focus on this middle section of the tier list. Lily is one of the most popular characters in Tekken overall, but when it comes to ranked, she's not really that high up there. And I think Lily isn't that efficient in a ranked setting. I think Lily, she can be outshined, she can be outclassed. If you know what Lily is doing, you can very easily stop her. And now that doesn't mean that she needs to be buffed. That doesn't mean that, oh, buff this character so this character can't compete. I think when you're looking at a traditional tier list for how powerful a character is, I think the top characters need to be brought down. I don't think the bottom characters need to be brought up. I think the top needs to be toned down. Law is very popular at beginner ranks, but I really don't see him that high up. So this may be why he's top 20. That's very good, but he's not top 4 or 5 like Harada say on Twitter. Harada said King and Law were top 4, but when it comes to rank, it's a different story. Now, that is the sad thing about these statistics. Everything is always focused on ranked. Me, myself, I don't even play ranked anymore. So I don't know if my rank still applies to this. I don't know if that still has an effect on this, but I don't really play ranked anymore. At the end of the day, I think it comes down to the ranked player's mindset. I think a ranked player's mindset is very different from a person in player match. It's very different from someone maybe in practice mode. Ranked is a very specific mindset, and I kind of consider it toxic. Ranked players, they want to win and they want to feel like they're good at the game. So they're not really going to pick these characters that's too complicated, that's too difficult. They're going to pick characters that are easy, simple, effective, I think is what really stands out when it comes to rank. What I really want to do though, when we look at this graph overall, not at any individual character, but when we just look overall, look at all the red. Look at all of the characters who are becoming less and less popular. So many reds, so many drop positions, and you barely see green. If I was a game developer, I would try to figure out why some characters are getting a boost when all of these other characters are not. Now, what's also interesting about this, a lot of the greens falls on DLC characters. What is this one? Julia. Oh my god. Before, Julia was kind of useless. No one really paid attention to Julia. But when everyone found out that Julia was one of the most powerful characters in the game, I think Arson Ash made a tier list and said it. I think Nee also said it. Many different tier lists were created like 4, 5, 6 months ago, and she was in top 5, top 10 for nearly all of them. And I think the community saw that and was like, oh, yep, that's who I'm going to play now. We know Ranked plays Julia. She went from 32 to 25 to 29. Kunimitsu. Now, this is something that Harada confirmed. Harada said her pick rate online, she was 32. But now she jumped up 10 whole places and is 22nd. I think that alone is the biggest jump out of this whole entire thing. I don't see any other character that went up 10 whole places. And what I do have to say about Kunimitsu, right? A lot of people, this is another character people say isn't pay to win. But right now, she's dominating tournaments worldwide. Ooh, what's interesting about this too, you have Fang. Fang is another character that got buffed. And look, he jumped up 7 places. This is why I'm kind of against buffing and nerfing of characters. A character can be useless garbage. No one will care about the character at all. But as soon as the character gets buffed slightly, now everyone's playing the character. Now everyone loves the character. I really don't think that is the way it should be. The devs is really deciding which characters we play, which characters we use in tournaments. I really don't think that's how Tekken is supposed to be. I think everyone should play a character that they like, play a character that they enjoy playing. You shouldn't be playing characters that are just good. They're the best character to use in a tournament, and I really disagree with the buffing and nerfing because of this right here. Fang. Now Fang is one of the most popular characters in the game. I don't think the developers should be deciding who we play and which characters we don't play. And I don't know if that's just because in other Tekken games this didn't happen. You didn't have a character get patched, get buffed, and then all of a sudden that character's dominating tournaments. I think it's so obvious in Tekken 7. In Tekken 7, they can't just buff something without putting it over the top. Every time they buff a character, they push that character so over the top to where you have to play it. I think it's interesting how Negan is so high up. Claudio, I said before, Claudio is a very powerful and dangerous character. I think he will also be in Tekken 8. Yoshimitsu, he's getting less and less popular each time around. They really abandoned this character. They didn't do anything to help this character at all. So I understand why he's getting worse. But yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's pretty much everything for this screenshot. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more videos, just breaking down the other ones and talking about what, just what's happening, right? What is happening to Tekken throughout all these years, the changes, the buffs, the nerfs, the patches, the complaints, all of these things. But that's it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.